Hello and welcome to the G Woman Voices of Influence series, where we spotlight women whose voice, whose work, and whose impact are shaping the future. I'm your host, Clara Rufai. Now, my guest today is a woman who has transformed influence into impact, using visibility not for vanity, but for heart centered service to humanity, and building a movement rooted in compassion, empowerment, and community. The woman of influence we're celebrating today is none other than Susan Omotoso, also known as 21 Forever. Now, first, before I tell you a little bit about our guest, I'd like to just acknowledge and just whoop, 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 cheer the 21 Forever family. They're amazing. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the comments. We see you and we're grateful for the energy that you've brought into this show today. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my guest. My guest is Susan Uchechi Omotoso. She is the CEO and chairperson of a foundation known as 21 Forever Divine Empowerment Initiative. She's an accomplished optometrist, philanthropist, and community leader, and she's widely known as 21 Forever and affectionately called Mother of All Nations. Now, through her foundation, she champions initiatives that empower individuals, strengthen families, and foster dignity driven independence. She blends compassion with leadership. Susan has transformed social influence into structured philanthropy that nurtures potential and creates lasting change. Her mission is simple yet powerful, empowering people, healing hearts, and changing lives. Susan, welcome to Voices of Influence. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much, Clara. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you.
Great. And now I know we have a few things to run through today, and you have an excited bunch of, 21 Forever family members waiting to support you. So let's get straight into the meat, right?
Okay.
I want to start by talking about your origin moment, right? Very briefly, Susan. Your journey from vanity to humanity is deeply inspiring. So
Thank you.
I'd like for you to start by telling us a little bit about that. What was that defining moment? That moment when you realized that your influence was meant to serve something greater than yourself.
That defining moments. Let me start from the beginning. Like I'll just talk about the first moment. Somebody just came to my DM to the comment section and just said, "Mama, I'm depressed." And I'm like, "You're depressed? Why?" She came into my DM, and that's how this journey started. So I would say that was the beginning, in all honesty, of this journey of many people coming into my DM, telling me about their problems, me empowering them. And that is how this journey went from vanity to humanity. And I'll say that was the first moment that touched my spirit. I'm like, wow. And then I think that's about it. That's the beginning of this journey. Yeah.
I'd like to ask you something because I've heard you say before that you went onto a particular social media platform for the
Okay.
purpose of showcasing yourself. So tell us a
Okay.
little bit about that.
So I joined Instagram to model in my 50s. I always told my husband and my children, I'm going to be a model in my 50s, posing for pictures and all the rest of it. I was following modeling agency model, not knowing that 8 years now down the line, or 9 years now, this is the 9th year, that I'll be a founder, a CEO of a foundation. Honestly, I never knew. I knew I was kind. I knew I was compassionate, but I never knew that I'll be, like they call me, the mother of all nations. Being more or less a mentor, to so many people, in all honesty, and I'm really grateful. 21 forever, come on, thank you
Well,
so much.
we see the messages. We see you, the
Yeah,
21 Forever family. You guys are amazing. We see the comments on the screen. You know, Bola Jaruna said, a great philanthropist. Someone else said, my woman king. Tiara says, my woman king. They're amazing. They're amazing. They're such a supportive bunch. So let me just, just to simplify, you went onto Instagram wanting to showcase your modeling skills. And then
correct,
somewhere, so that was a vanity moment. But somewhere along the
correct,
line, that has now transformed to become a human centered service that you're rendering. Oh,
correct.
wow. Joy, again, the comments are, Joy says, yes, we are here, Mama Susan. And I just want to, based on that, go into my next question, Susan.
Okay.
You are affectionately known as Mother of All Nations, just as Joy just called you Mama Susan. Different people calling you such affectionate names. Mother of All Nations is one of those names. I'd like to ask you, where does that depth of compassion come from? What is it that is making, the 21 Forever family so drawn to you? What would you say that is?
I think I treat all of them with love and kindness.
Mm,
There's no discrimination, and it doesn't matter where you come from,
mm,
what your religion is,
mhm,
your tribe, whatever, wherever you are within Nigeria. For now, it's Nigeria I'm
mhm,
dealing with.
mhm.
So although I think I have other people from other countries, but Nigeria is the main, the main area of interest. So for me, I think it's the kindness I show, my empathy, my concern. I celebrate their birthdays, their children's birthdays. If they have a loss in their families, I support them as well. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Apart
I
from
understand.
empowering them
Mhm.
as well, I'm feeding a lot of them as well. I think over the years, I've fed, I don't know, thousands of people. So I think from all that and how I treat them, they see me as their mother, because they say I treat them as
Yeah,
if they're my children. Some of them don't have mothers, some of them don't have parents, they're orphans, and I show them that kind of similar love I show to my own children. I show to them, so they call me the mother of all nations because I cover from the north to the south to the east to the west to the middle belt of Nigeria. All of them are more or less on my platform. I think about 27 states, and I treat them all like mine. I think that's where it comes from. So the love and compassion I show them, that is it.
and it's difficult to deny that. I mean, nobody can argue with that. The evidence is right here. El Bell said, selfless human being. Somebody said she has empathy. She's amazing. The comments just keep coming from your 21 Forever family. And such comments are not based on, we're proud of you, ma'am, she says. And such comments are not based on nothing. It is because of the impact you've had in their lives. So I just want to take this further by asking you that, I mean, it's obvious that you have that, serious impact on them, but the kind of loyalty that I see, she's so caring, El Bell says, the kind of loyalty that I see, like I said, it doesn't just happen by accident. It speaks about consistency, right? It speaks about care. It also speaks about real impact. So, what does it mean to you for you to see your community standing with you like this? The comments on the screen, I love her, from vanity to humanity. It's amazing. What does it mean to you to see all of this kind of support?
It is, sometimes overwhelming because I look in, I'm looking at myself, but I'm looking from the outside as well. And I'm like, wow, how did this all happen?
Yeah.
And I know that it did not happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the key things how it kind of built, or how it got to this point was that when they comment on the comment section, I
Mm-hmm.
reply everybody's comments. Do you get it?
Personally.
So that, yes, personally. So in a way, my community, and they're not strangers to me. I know them. So
Mm-hmm.
all the names coming up, I know them. So it's just incredible. I don't know how I have all their names in my brain. So if I see a name and if I don't see you again, I'll be like, where have you been? I just know I've not seen you in a long time. So the comment section of that, I think that's how I built it. I built that relationship. I reply every comment. In fact, years ago, I'll repost your comment as well. If it's very funny to me or interesting, I'll repost. And in that way, I got to know them very well on a personal level. And of course, now with the WhatsApp group I have, which I'm going forward, it's even more personal. So I know them very, very well. And I think that's how all this came about. And I think it's so difficult to say, but where I am now with my people, 21 Forever, I'm so grateful for the love. And I always say, in life is give and take. So I've given them love. I've shown them a lot of compassion and generosity, and they've given it back to me as well. It's a two-way
I see
thing.
that.
You get what I'm saying? It's really,
I honestly, absolutely can testify to that, because even before the show, in anticipation of the show, they've been, on our channels, they've been reporting for duty, more or less, saying we're here for our mother of all nations and all of that. The love is really, really very genuine, and it's easy to see. And I know that this journey of yours, at some point, I'm going to talk about, impact and transformation now. At some point, this journey of yours, loving people that you didn't know before, but just listening to their problems and supporting them, I know that it has now become a foundation known as the divine empowerment. Correct me when you take over, but it has now become a foundation, and you focus on empowerment and independence. So I want you to talk a little bit about that, and then I have a sub question behind that.
Okay, so of course, with me empowering a lot of people on my page, more or less behind the scenes, because on my page itself, the demand was so high. I only more or less say, I want to empower, I want to bless 10 people with breakfast or 20 people for lunch or dinner. With that alone, my DM is so full, with people wanting hospital, rents to be paid, hospital bills, and all sorts, and business support. So with all that, just me, doing that dinner, and then behind the scenes, getting to know the people, empowering them, this came about. So the momentum was so high. I think even last year, business support, and the demand is so, I'm like, no, and I've been using my own funds, and I'm a 9-to-5 worker. I have no other source of income apart from being an optometrist. And honestly, the demand is so much, or was so much, and I'm like, now we need to move to the next level, which is to register a foundation. Of course, with the foundation, we're going to help our own people and also help people in the community. We have so many people, remember, and with it, of course, and maybe you're going to ask that question, so let me keep quiet for now. So that is where this came about. So the foundation had to come because the needs, the people, there's so much that we can do to make a difference in the society and in the country.
Uchechi Isaac says she's our all and all, and someone else says we love her and we learn from her. A queen with a pure heart. That's what Happiness Uche says.
Thank you so much.
The love is really, really massive, and it is easy to see, and it's because of the impact. Joy T official says, yes, it's a great foundation. So on the back of that, very briefly, I want to ask you that, for the woman who maybe is watching us right now, or who will watch later, who feels that she doesn't have enough resources to make a difference in her corner of the world, what would you say to that woman?
So for a woman who doesn't have enough resources to make a difference.
Who feels that she doesn't have what it takes, or she doesn't have enough resources, what would you say to her?
I would say there's nothing like enough. I didn't even think, in all honesty, as I am in this position, I'm actually shocked that with the little that I had, that I made such great impact in people's lives. You just need, sometimes you would think only £2. You understand? £2 could feed a family. Honestly, I used to wonder, and I'm like, it's just £2, 5,000 naira, or whatever they get. They say, Mama, you don't know how much that means to me. I was able to make a pot of soup. They would send it to my DM to show me. I'd be like, wow, don't worry, I'll send you more. Because to me, I'm like, that's so small. And it has been an interesting journey, getting to know all the people.
Yeah.
And just connect with so many people.
And take this comment from Didi. Didi says, we love her And I remember how she stood for us through the hard times. You are selfless, my 21 forever mama. So that's
Oh,
an amazing testimony right there.
honestly, thank you
Joyce
so much.
Official says, I blessed the day my path crossed with Mama Susan Omotoso. And
Oh,
then Shafi says she is a God sent.
oh,
You
thank
know,
you so
it's
much.
it's actually, oh, some love says thank you for supporting my business. Look, we can't
Yeah,
take all of the comments, but I take those comments just to show that they feel you like you feel them. You're doing something great. She's what she says she is, Geoffrey says. And it's amazing the impact that one woman, the transformation that one woman alone can have when she chooses, right, to act with intention. And that's what you've done. So let's move on. Let's move on because I have a few more questions for you.
okay,
I mean, it's easy to see how you have transformed lives. And I want you to tell me one story, just one quick story, and make it very brief, please, because of
okay.
time. That what is it? What does empowerment truly look like in practice? So take one case study, very briefly. Tell me, what does empowerment look like in practice?
So in practice, I have like a single mother of 6 boys. She should be here. And she comes to me and I'm like, I really want to help you. She comes into
Mhm,
my DM. You have 6 sons. Professor, 6 boys. You have nothing to do. What do you want to do? She said, I want to cook. I want to do this. Anyway, long story short, I open up a shop for her to sell food stuff. But not only that, she tells me and my children are sleeping on the floor. I said, what do you mean you're sleeping on the bare floor? You need a bed. You need a. So it only not only for me, I'm extra. I go beyond the call of duty. I now
mm,
went to her house and bought her a bed for her and her children. You have nothing in your living room. I got her settee. I don't know where you get where I'm coming from. So I do more. That's her there, Candy. So I go beyond that. Not only the empowerment was for the business, but I'm like, how can you be sleeping on the floor? And you have to have a bed. You have to have a settee,
wow.
so we have to have a TV or whatever the case may be. So that is just
Can
one case, one of many people
One
I
of
have
many,
empowered,
one of
one of
many.
so many people. And
And
like,
and I, and I love it.
yeah,
And I love it when you say that you go beyond the call of duty, and that going beyond willingness to go beyond the call of duty is why these people love you so much. Empress Candy, the lady you were just speaking about, she says, you see that angel on your screen is an angel in human form or in human being. If
yeah,
she mentors you, oh, that comment's gone away now, but the
yeah.
comments keep coming. The comments, if she mentors you, you must have good direction. So they believe
That's
in you.
another
They
one. Yeah,
believe,
sorry. Yeah,
yes, they believe in you. So let me ask
yeah.
you, and again, we'll make this very brief. What would you
Okay,
say that you, as a mentor, as a counselor, as an empowerment, an instrument of empowerment, whatever you are to these people, what is the 21 Forever secret sauce? What would you say if I ask you what's your secret sauce? You know why? Because every woman of influence has a superpower. So I know you have a superpower as well. So, very briefly, in a few words, what is your secret sauce?
what is my secret sauce? Wow.
What's your superpower? What's that thing that's unique to you that you use to, I don't know, impact and influence all of these lives?
I would say, to be honest with you, love, deep love,
Hmm,
unconditional love.
that's a good
And,
one.
and I feel one of the things I would say is more or less leaving footprints of kindness wherever I go.
And I'll take that. I'll take that because
Yes.
that right there is influence in action, influence in motion. This is what happens when a woman leads with heart. When she leads with heart, people gather, as all these people have gathered today to support you. By the way, I also want to acknowledge the wonderful women from the G Woman Collective who are here with their brilliance and with their energy as well. That it's amazing the work that you've done, Susan. And so
Thank you
let's
so
talk
much.
about the power of amplification. You
Okay.
know, and whenever I talk to guests on Voices of Influence, I like to draw some kind of parallels or analogy with the work that we do at G Woman Media. And I
Okay.
know that you are involved with the work at G Woman Media. So I want to ask you,
Okay.
at G Woman Media, we're deeply committed to amplifying women's voices so that
Okay.
visibility becomes measurable impact, not just visibility, but visibility that becomes measurable impact. Your own journey shows how influence can move from just a digital platform into real communities. So I want to
True.
ask you, how powerful is it in your own view? How powerful is it when women use their platforms not just to be seen, but to build movements that change lives?
I believe very powerful. And for me, I believe in positivity. I
Hmm.
think one thing that I think my page is unique for on Instagram is that there's no violence there. I allow
Mm.
freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and I want every voice to be heard. So
Hmm.
there's fairness, there's kindness, and I think that is very important. So for me, I believe in in making an impact is to
Hmm.
allow people to have their share their voices freely without
Hmm.
judgments, without judging anybody.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think
Absolutely.
that's one thing for my face. So my page is known for that. They know that when they come there, it's a home. It's a real
Hmm.
home.
Hmm.
And I and also I lead, I show the way. I'm also an example. I'm not perfect.
Hmm. I do want to take this comment
Carry on.
before it leaves the
Yes. Yeah,
screen because
correct.
Alozie says leadership with compassion and purpose. Thank you for standing for something greater than yourself.
That's my
And there's
admin. Thank you
there's
so
four
much.
little hearts there
My,
for you.
yeah, he's my right hand man. Yes. So for me, like I said, my page is all about love.
Hmm.
There's no negativity there. There's always positivity. I tend to motivate, to inspire, and that's what we all there for. I'm not there. I'm very focused. I'm very determined, and
Great
I want
job.
and I want and I want the best for everybody. They know that.
Everybody,
I want the
everybody.
best, and I
They're
want them to have,
testifying. They're
yeah, and I want
testifying to
all
that.
of them to have a good quality of life, and that's for
Hmm.
themselves and for their families, and that is very important. And here I am
Amazing.
with 21 forever. Look at my
Oh,
t-shirt
that's lovely.
for my people. My people, they made it for me, and I'm showcasing that. Yeah, 21 forever,
That's
now and
lovely.
forever, changing lives forever.
We love your passion. We love to see you
Thank you so
go.
much. Thank
But
you so much.
bringing this gradually now to a close,
Okay,
and we will bring
okay.
you back again because this isn't just enough time to say all that you're doing. But let me ask you this question as we bring it to a close. If every woman watching this today could live with one belief about her ability, about her capacity to make a difference in the world, as a result of seeing your example, for instance, what would you want that woman to know? What message can you give to a woman who desires to have an impact in the world the way you're doing?
I
Just a
think
short
the
message.
short message is to believe in yourself and believe in your gifts and your talents. All of us have gifts and talents, and then
Hmm.
follow your. I think for me, I follow my guts, and I was really focused. I didn't allow no distractions, no
Yes,
negativity,
yes.
no negative comments. You just have to be focused
Be
and
focused.
be focused,
Be authentic as well.
and be authentic, and it will work
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
I don't even know how I'm here, but I am here. But I think it was consistency, determination. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know where I was going.
Hmm.
Honestly, I didn't. It wasn't planned,
So you
but
trusted the process and just
I
went with
trusted
your
the
heart.
process exactly. And my people, without my 21 Forever family, I won't be here. Without 21 Forever, the
Hmm.
people, there will be no 21 Forever brands. It
Oh,
became a
wow.
brand because of the people, yes, and I'm really grateful to them. Thank you, my people, 21 Forever
and
family.
they and they
Honestly,
and they're
yeah.
grateful to you as well. Susan, what you've shared with us here today is more than a story. Let me tell you, it's a reminder of what is possible when one woman chooses compassion and she acts on it. You've shown us that, influence is really about impact, that kindness, when it is offered intentionally, can grow into something powerful, something lasting. And that's how change begins, really. So thank you for leading with your heart.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for turning goodwill into action. And above all, thank you for turning vanity into humanity
Humanity.
and for reminding us that compassion can truly, truly, truly change
Thank
lives.
you.
Again, I
Mm,
want to acknowledge the incredible 21 Forever family who
Thank
have
you.
all shown up powerfully today. And
Thank
even before today, they had been there, camping on just waiting for the show to start. And, that kind of love doesn't happen by accident. As I said before, it is built through consistency, through care, through love, and it makes a difference. So I also want to acknowledge again the wonderful women from the G Woman Collective who brought their own fire to support us on this show. Now,
Can I
with
say
that,
something before we go? Just
very
one thing.
briefly, very briefly,
Very briefly to say that 21 Forever, we have 27 representatives in 27 states of Nigeria ready to go out to the communities to do great work. So that is all I have to say for now. And I will definitely, if anybody wants to support me, you can either come to my DM or come to Instagram, and I'm ready to go out there with my people to the communities to change lives forever. Thank you
we
so
hear
much.
you. We hear
Thank you.
you, and we will be looking out for you. You're doing great work already, and I know that that work is only going to be multiplied through your foot soldiers. You know, just one quick question again. Chiadi says, if every woman can be selfless like her, the world will be a better place, and that's a good place to leave it. Honestly, the world will be a
Oh,
better
to a
place.
better
And
place.
with that, we've come to the end of today's conversation with 21 Forever, Susan Omotoso. But before I leave you, right, here's what I know. I know that when a woman trusts herself, she transforms her life. And when she shares her voice, she transforms the world. And so this has been G Woman Media Voices of Influence series, where women's voices are not just heard, they're amplified and celebrated. I'm your host, Clara Rufai. And until I come your way again, remember to lead with heart and keep shining.
Thank you. Love you all.